excited that I am where I'm at today. The thought of helping people that's like-minded is exciting. I can't wait to start my new life without you in it. The sky is the limit. Goodbye, past. Hello, future. You know, I probably could have did better on that. I don't know. It sounds better when I read it than when I wrote it. I've had a lot of struggles with, the crack cocaine and methamphetamines. Like I said, before I went to prison in 2019, I went from I want to say 2015 to 2019, around 4 or 5 years, I did heroin a lot. Like, I never shot at it. I wasn't an IV user at the time. I didn't become an IV user until after I had got out of prison, and I went through, what I call my midlife crisis, when I lost my family and my kid that I didn't know about until she was 12 years old, but me and her rode so close, or I rode close to her. She's a wonderful child, and I love her to death, and I can't wait for the future that I get to see her again, meet her again, try to never make up for lost time. I just gotta cherish the time that we do got together, because I love her with all my heart, and I can't wait to see her again. And that goes for my oldest daughter as well. I love her equally the same, and I can't wait to see her again as well. But with that being said, I wrote this, to try to release some feelings that I had, some regrets, and maybe some depression, that I have dealt with and I had worked on. Even through, kind of active addiction, I was still working on, like, my mental health and my mental strengths, I was back at my camp one night, and we was doing, before I state this, we was doing a meeting a while ago out here at our house, because, today is a holiday. So we didn't really go nowhere. We went and we did a cookout at the office today, and it was pretty nice, ate very well, and we watched a recovery movie. What was the name of that recovery movie? I'll get the name of it, but it was a good one. But we watched a good recovery movie, and we watched a good recovery movie. It was pretty good, but then we come home tonight. We had us a little group meeting out here because we didn't leave the house to get a meeting. And we have to get 3 meetings a week to allow us to go out on our passes and visit our families, significant other, church, or just pure support in general. But during that whole meeting, I was thinking, because there was a couple people talking about cheating, death, and things like that. And in all honesty, I've only OD'd once in my life, and that was probably about, I want to say, 6 months ago. Like I say, I wasn't actively out there using heroin every day. It's not something that I'd like to do, because I'd like to be awake and do things and get stuff done. But I didn't shoot it. I snorted a line of heroin, and I told the girl that I was with, no names is necessary or whatever, because it don't matter, but I told the girl that I was with that if I didn't feel right, I'd tap her leg, you know what I mean? And the last thing I can remember is tapping her leg, and then after that, I remember just like coming up from the ground, and just looking at the few people that was sitting there, like, what happened? What's going on? And they commenced to tell me that I OD'd, and I mean, if you ever been Narcan before and you're an active user or whatever, everybody has told me that you have instant withdrawals. So you're straight into instant withdrawals. Well, I didn't have the instant withdrawals, but I'll tell you what I did have. I had a sense of, man, it's so hard to explain, like, how can I explain it? Just like, I kind of closed down and I got real quiet, but in my head it was real loud, like it was, I don't know, I guess maybe a near-death experience, like feeling I don't know, it was, and this is the first time I've talked about this. I've not even talked about this in class, what times I've been here, so I'm sharing this with you for the first time, and I guess it's a part of my growth. You know, when I think that I'm done growing here, I find out I'm growing more. But you know, I remember going over and I had this little tote full of stuff that I just got out of the dumpster. Had all kinds of whatnots in it, sockets, pieces of copper, brass, just all kinds of little tweaker shit, I reckon. And I was going through it, separating everything, getting the scrap out, and separating it from the other pile of stuff that was nice that I was wanting to keep. And I just kept running through my head like what just happened to me? You know, because you know, before I went to prison, I was doing a half ounce of heroin a day. It would be not uncommon for me to snort a half ounce of heroin a day. I mean, not uncommon at all. And I did this little, probably tenth and a half to 2/10 line, and if there would have been nobody there, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. And if they wouldn't have Narcan out there to save us dumbasses when we do this stuff, I wouldn't be here right now. I mean, this whole world would probably be, the population would be pretty low. So I think the people that come up with the Narcan to save my life, you know, my hat's off to them, because, you know, I like to live and I want to be there for my kids, you know. My ex told me one time, and she knows who she is if she ever watches this, you know, ever she goes, she's like, you know, everybody says they'll die for their kids. Well, why not live for your kids? And, you know, that has stayed in my head for years now. Been a few years now since she said it to me. A couple of years, I don't know. You lose track of time when you're out there and you're in active addiction. But, yeah, it stayed in my head, and it's allowed me to, you know, try to stay alive, I reckon, you know. Did I make good choices? No, I've not made good choices, or I wouldn't be here where I'm at today. Well, this is a good choice that I made coming here. But the circumstances and the things that led up to me being here was not good choices. I forgot to read a serenity prayer. I'll do that real quick. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. And that's what I'm doing. You know, I've let all the things that I can't change go in the past. The things I can change, I'm accepting them and doing what I can to make them better. Just like myself. I'm working on myself to make myself a better person every day. For me, number one. For my kids, number 1.5. I don't want to say number 2, because I don't want they're never number 2. They're number 1 in my life. I love my children. I love you very much. Autumn, Jasmine, you guys are my world. And I want to be a better dad to you every day. And I try to mention you every time when I do one of these. That way, you know, you guys can go back and you know that you're always on my mind. There's not a day that goes by, not a minute goes by, that I don't think of you two young ladies and how wonderful you are, and how big of an influence you have on my life when you're not even around. Just the influence you have on me, it's remarkable, you know, and it's ungodly. You know, I'm coming up on, I'm going to talk about this. I'm coming up, let's see, I think I've been here around 45 days at this place. Let's see. Yeah, at least around 45 days. And you know, my parole officer said when I complete this program that he would sign off on me and allow me to move to Circleville, Ohio with my girlfriend. I'm not even scared of that. Like, I embrace that and I'm ready for it. But he also said that it wouldn't be long and I'd be off parole. Well, I'll have to admit that I'm a little scared that, you know, without me having that parole over my head, What am I going to do? How am I going to act? Am I going to fall back into my old habits? No matter how strong we think we are in our heads, there can always be that slip up. At that time we think, well, I can do it just once. But we all know one's never enough. You know what I mean? And one's too many. So, I'm trying to build good emotional support. I'm trying to change a lot of friends that I've had. I'm trying to stay away from absolutely anybody that has any kind of drug use at all. Unless of course, you're taking prescription pills for a surgery or something you had, and you're taking them responsible. That's completely understanding. But if you're going out there buying drugs off the streets and you're abusing those drugs and all that sort of shit, you're hitting a bubble, you're hitting a stem, you're IV using, whatever you're doing, I'm just going to be blunt about this. Stay the fuck away from me, because I don't want it in my life. If you need help and you want recovery, come to me in a clear mindset and I'll get you into treatment, because I'm here to help. But as far as me going out there and putting myself in that situation, I'm not going to do. I have a home when I get out there. I would appreciate the respect that if you're in active use, you don't come to my house under the influence of drugs. It's not me being cruel or mean or anything of the sort. It's me picking myself over anything else. Picking my sobriety and my mental health and all that over anything else. Picking my kids first this time, for once in my life. Finally, loving them more than I love the drugs. Because here, when the sun goes down, is when we like talking about this stuff. It's when I like getting all this stuff off my chest, and I like talking to you. Yeah, at the moment right now, I have to do this pre-recorded and then post it, because, I gotta wait another, 50 days or something before I can go live again. And I really enjoy the lives because it allows you guys to interact with me. It allows you to ask questions and other things. And I've neglected to keep doing this the last week or so. I haven't done one, and I'm sorry for that. It's not that I ain't thinking about doing it, it's just I've been having problems with the Facebook. Like, I'll post a couple of things, they'll lock me out for a couple of hours. I really don't know what's going on with it. I think I need to set some admins up for my group when the sun goes down. So if there's anybody out there that's real honest and everything, wants to be an admin for my group, let me know, and I'll try to see what I got to do to get you to be an admin or whatever. That way you approve the content before it gets posted. Because I think that's what's going on, I think they're having to send it through Facebook or whatever to approve the content before it gets posted. So I think I need to set up a couple admins. That way they can look at whatever I post or whatever and see that it is not violating anything and is able to post it. So, with that, I usually like to read something, like a Just for Today or something like that. Like, I got so much literature. Oh yeah, where'd that one stuff go? I had some stuff that a mental health therapist, professional gave me. She gave me a lot of stuff about different things and stuff, and I've really not read through much of it. Let's see. Maslow hierarchy of needs. Let's see. Like, print this out for me. It's pretty lengthy, you know what I mean? And I need to read over it and look over it and everything, and maybe pick out some good stuff to read to you guys. As survival needs, it's about the most creative and intellectually oriented, so for them that you need at the top. Okay, let's see. But yeah, I'll look over this stuff and I'll pick out some different stuff to read to you and everything. Let's see here. We have I read this just for today, friends. It's the freedom from active addiction. Narcotics Anonymous offers only one promise, and that is free from active addiction. The solution that eludes us for so long. Basic text, page 106. NA offers no promise that other freedom can active addiction. It is true that some of our members meet with financial success and recovery. They buy nice houses, drive new cars, wear fine clothes, and form beautiful families. These outward signs of prosperity are not the lot of all of our members. However, a great many of us never achieve financial success. This does not necessarily reflect on the quality of our recovery. When we are tempted to compare ourselves to the other, seemingly more affluent members, it is good to remember why we came to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. We came because our lives had fallen down around us. We were emotionally, physically, and spiritually defeated. Our basic text reminds us that in desperation, we sought help from each other in Narcotics Anonymous. We came because we were beaten. For addicts, even one day clean is a miracle. We remember we came to Narcotics Anonymous, and in that condition, we arrived, we realized that the material wealth pales in comparison to the spiritual riches we have gained in recovery. Just for today, I have given a spiritual gift greater than material. Well, my recovery, I will thank the God of my understanding for my freedom from active addiction. So, yeah, just because you don't go out there and buy a new house, so you don't get out there and buy a new vehicle, it doesn't mean that you're not in the same place as somebody else that has, or somebody that's living in a camper. You know, because you could have a better mindset than the other person and be further in your recovery, you know. That's where it goes with not judging others, you know. Just because you have nice things doesn't mean that you're a better person than what they are. You know, we all have the same struggles in addiction. You know, we all want to get better. That's our main thing that we want to do is get better. We want to live a clean, sober life just for today. So, we shall not judge anybody that doesn't have what we have. Rather, we should help them. We should bring them up. We should build them up. We should give to them, give back. That's what it's all about, giving back to the fellow addict. Showing them that they're not alone. Showing them that you love them and you will help them if they need it, if they allow you to. Because we can never push anybody into recovery. They have to want it for themselves. I'm guilty of doing this, you know. I got friends out there, I love them to death. And sometimes I see myself pushing too hard because I don't want to lose them. Because I know what kind of person they are inside. I know that I love them people for who they are. I see things in them that they don't even see themselves. But until they find those things and see those things that I see, they're not going to seek recovery. So I preach and I preach and I preach too much sometimes. To where I just sit back and, you know, and I am proud of them and I'll tell them that I'm proud of them every day. But whether I was or not, I still tell them I'm proud of them. I want to build that confidence in them that they don't have. I want to build them back up. That way they take the ignition and take that first step to realize that they have a problem. And then to seek help and get into treatment. Because we all have the problem when we're out there, you know, and it is so freaking hard just to take that step. I mean, it's so hard. You know, harder for some than it is the others. You just got to come to an euphoric moment in your life where you say, hey, fuck, I've had enough. And then you got to move on from that. And you got to take yourself and put yourself in treatment. Not for anybody else or because anybody else told you to do it. For yourself. Because you're a beautiful, wonderful person and you deserve to have better in life. That's why you do it. Because when you start doing better for yourself, your real friends, like I've said many times, your real friends will come out. They will be there for you. They will guide you into the right direction. And if you need things, whether it's clothes or you need a home or you need somewhere to stay, the right people will find you and they will give you that. But not until you help yourself. You have to help yourself. No matter what situation you're going through, no matter what's going on in your life. People keep putting things off. Well, I got a broken arm, so I got to wait till my broken arm heals up before I can go to recovery. Or I sprained my ankle, so I got to go to get my ankle fixed before I can go to recovery. Bullshit. You're procrastinating. Because in recovery, you got food. You got a roof over your head. You got people to take you to every damn doctor's appointment. So what I'm going to say is to anybody out there that's procrastinating, get over yourself, realize you've got a problem, and go to treatment. You know, I applaud anybody that's been down in the deepest gutters that they are. And that is here now. And you wouldn't believe the people that I've met, that I've known on the streets, that here we go, where we compare ourselves to them or whatever, you know, when all actuality we're all addicts. But, you know, they would, in all actuality, do more stuff than I would do or have done. And I see them teaching classes now. I see them being prominent members of society. I see them that not seen their kids in years, and now they got custody of their kids. Miracles do happen, but they don't happen unless you take the initiative to change your life, to break old habits and start new positive habits. That's when your life starts to prosper. That's where you start seeing things. That's where you start gaining things. Respect for yourself, respect from others, even you know, a new car, a new house, new four-wheeler, things that makes you feel good in life. Because we're all getting too old to keep doing stuff like this. We all need to leave some kind of legacy for our kids. That way they don't have to work as hard as we did. Now, I ain't saying spoil them, because I'm definitely against spoiling your kids. That's just me, and that's my right. But I do believe in parents should work in their life to give their kids a little edge, not to have to work as hard as they did. Because I've not had to work as hard in my life as my dad did, or my dad before his dad did. You know, because back then, times was hard. Kids wouldn't know what to do these days. You know, I gotta honestly say, my dad's taught me enough in my life, and I paid attention to enough, that I can go out here in these woods and I can survive. And I've proven it and done it. I did it for 8 months. And I enjoyed it. I kind of missed my freedom of doing it, to be honest with you. But I know that all I was doing was putting myself on hold, and I was hiding from something. You know, and that something would be responsibilities. Responsibilities as a man, responsibilities as a father, responsibilities to the community. To be a better person and help every other good community person around here build our community up to be a positive place and get these drugs off the streets. So I've looked at myself and I found my center, and that's what I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to build myself up, and I hope I get reunification with my kids, because I love them to death, and I'd love to be doing this with them. But if not, I'm not going to let it get me down as much as I think about them every day and love them every day. I got to stay who I am every day. I got to be consistent with my life, my recovery, and where I'm going in life, and what my goals are. You know, I have a bucket list. There's many things I want to do out there that I ain't give up on. I'm hard-headed, and I ain't giving up yet. I ain't 6 feet under yet, thank good Lord. So, yeah. Here's Drug Addiction Part 2, Clinton. It's 8 minutes. Let's see what he has to say. He's pretty good. He's raw, so I like listening to him because he's raw.
First, you
no
must
sugarcoat
survive the
shit.
test. I'm feeling like I'm dying from these drugs that I injected. I can go in either arm, left or right, I'm ambidextrous. My soul is desolate, my spirit is defected. I keep making wrong decisions that will never get corrected. I'm doing what I have to, never cared about the wreckage. I keep chasing this high, but I can't ever seem to catch it. I told you my story, now let me go a little deeper. I was dealing with a chemical that's deadlier than ether. I never show respect, living on the verge of death, cause this heroin will kill me, smell the murder on its breath. I'm walking on this tightrope as I'm watching every step. Now I'm living on the run, I never sleep, I never rest. I'm having trouble breathing from the pressure on my chest. This anxiety is killing me, suffocating from stress. The residence I'm staying at is filthy, it's a mess, but I can't leave until this bag is gone and there is nothing left. So I'm stuck feeling empty, suicidal thoughts are present. The essence of my depression wants me dead without a question. The shit is in my blood, my whole family suffers. My sister's getting high with me, we're smoking like a muffler. My mother's an alcoholic, the addiction is intense. My father left in 84, we haven't seen him since. He chose drugs over us, and yeah, I get it. It's impossible to stop, so now there's crimes that I'm committing. I vomit in the sink every morning, I am broke. The complexion of my skin is gray, looking like a ghost. I guess I'll take his money, him and I were never close. I was supposed to buy crack, but somebody sold me soap. I never pay for nothing as I'm headed towards the door. And you can try to come and catch me as I'm running out the store. All I want is drugs, all I ever need is more. Me and my sister, we pass the needle back and forth. Blood is dripping off my arms, now it's falling to the floors. We manipulate the lighter, watch that flame hit the chore. She's pushing on the stem, I try to wait my turn. Every pair of pants I got is covered in cigarette burns. I'm living a life that's foul, never critically acclaimed. My arms are black and blue, I try to hit another vein. It's gonna take an hour, why? Every vein's collapsed. Should I clean it out with bleach? I don't even have to ask. The answer's no, let it go, it's set in stone. See, I'm married to the needle, never touching methadone. My moves are unpredictable, my actions are erratic. And that spike is in my arm, I'm gonna die using addict. I'm drinking alcohol until I fall appalled. As the room is spinning slowly to the toilet that I crawl. Let's pour another drink, then it's shot after shot after shot after shot. Through this just to draw my thoughts. Everything is blurry, I can never read the manuscript. Everything I'm doing, every decision is cancerous. I would crash, I could never find the landing strip. Ecstasy and mushrooms together, I used to candy flip. That was back when these drugs, they were fun. Now I'm manacled in misery, a monster I become. Heroin's my god, I follow orders that are strict. You see, I'm just a crew member, it's the captain of the ship. The stem side, cool it off, try and use a damp rag. I'm feeling so alone as I am pouring out these stamp bags. I'm pulling on the belt till every vein is visible. Every day I'm overwhelmed, stressed, living miserable. The drug game, I'm always losing like I'm gambling. I see she isn't breathing, so I call another ambulance. We're lost souls, no guidance, no type of management. Every day is death and crime, I can't fucking handle this. I'm blowing out the smoke as I'm peeking past the curtains. Now my house is surrounded, I see their shadows, now I'm nervous, yeah. They're coming to get me, okay, maybe I'm just paranoid. No, everyone be quiet, I'm a silence, not another noise. Filling the void, I'm truly losing my mind. I'm using my license when I'm chopping up these lines. Trying to stay alive is how I really spend my time. I'm covered in guilt and shame, let me tell you about a friend of mine. She sold her soul, sold her body, she sold everything. She sold her house, car, even sold her wedding ring. She's starting to get sick and she's turning another trick. And she don't wanna live this way, sucking dick for another hit. Look, you think it's funny, put yourself in her shoes and imagine what it's like to have no option to choose. And we're so quick to judge another, but what if this song was about your mother? Do you think you'd understand and still love her? All I do is lie, I never tell the truth. My neighbors see I'm sick, so I tell them I got the flu. I rented out my car, I needed to get high. My dealer has my vehicle, I see I'm driving by. These track marks, I've had them since I was younger. I'm wearing long sleeves in the middle of the summer. The paramedics took my needle spoon in both bundles. Why you hitting me with Narcan, interrupting my slumber? I turn into my father, I'm hated, this isn't me. I'm supposed to serve a purpose while I'm living out my dreams. I turn into my father, I'm nauseous, sick to my stomach. Chaotic or narcotics, this isn't the life I wanted. I turn into my father, I'm the devil in the flesh. I never have confidence as I'm settling for less. I turn into my father, and I hate what I become. So now I wanna end my life, I'm in search of a loaded gun. I'm feeling I'm lost and broken, all I ever do is hurt. My mother's in the other room, I'm taking money out her purse. I tried to mask the pain, but it only made it worse. Then I finally hit a point where the drugs would no longer work. I'm killing myself slowly, I just wanna feel some freedom. My thoughts are paralyzing as I'm battling these demons. I used to tell myself that I would be better off, that I stopped listening to the voices that are inside of my head. I wanna change, I need to be a son to my mother, a brother to my sister. Look, I'm tired of the struggle. My obsession has been lifted, but destruction I can crave. But I'm doing what it takes so I don't see an early grave. I thank God I hit up bottom, now he carries me. I didn't want my mother and sister to have to bury me. I've fallen many times, finally got my life together, cause I kept trying, never quit through every failed endeavor. Nowadays these parents, they are burying their kids, or dying younger and younger than never get a chance to live. I'm trying to show the world hope regardless of what I did, and that is truly why I do this. It gets everything I give. I had multiple years clean twice, but then I lost it. Now my daily maintenance, it is suffocated and caution. I tread softly, no tradition violations. Look, I used to be a loser, now my life's truly amazing. I try to be a service, you can find that in our symbol. I used to be shaky, but now I'm steady like a gimbal. I put my hands together every night to pray, as I'm smoking, drinking coffee, relaxing with Jimmy K. I had to write a sequel, do it for our people. We all have our own issues, but understand that we're equal. There's many days that I wanna give up and use, have my misery refunded. I've done it, it's nothing new. Now I'm staring at my daughter and she's altering my mood. She's the underlying force in everything I ever do. My daughter is my everything, and that'll never change. I can't wait until she's old enough and sees what I became. I love my daughter, but she won't keep me clean. See, the drugs are just a symptom, now I'm fighting to be free. I try to separate all my wants and my needs. I'm working on myself, I learned acceptance is the key. Through it all, I try to spread a positive message. I'm dedicated to death with every breath I invested. I'm constantly pushing, I got this fire in my eyes. Listen, all my dead friends is what's giving me my drive. I try to play my part, but could always be doing more. They're calling it a battle, I call it a losing war. We gotta come together, my experience is real. You can identify with what I did, relate to how I feel. No pedestal was needed, I am very far from gifted. We all felt the same pain, but our stories might be different. With any brush, I'll paint a picture of a vivid image, but the message doesn't have a meaning unless I live it. I defy the odds where miracles live in proof. I'm alive to tell my story and I'm sharing it with you. It's God's grace and mercy, the reason I'm still alive. I'm watching friends use it, it is killing me inside. To anyone that's trying to change their life, you're my idol. Life will have its ups and downs, but I'm no longer suicidal. Nowadays these artists, they just glorify the drugs. See, I'm trying to do it differently and glorify the love. And you can judge me, but I'm proud of my accomplishments. My name is Chad Smith and I refuse to be anonymous. I used to dream of living, now I'm living my dreams. No matter what it takes, my goal is to die clean. Die clean, die clean, die clean, die clean. No matter what it takes, my goal is to die clean. Die clean, die clean, die clean, die clean. No matter what it takes, my goal is to die clean. Die clean, die clean, die clean, die clean. No matter what it takes, my goal is to die clean. Die clean, die clean, die clean, die clean. No matter what it takes, my goal is to die clean. Die clean, die clean, die clean, die clean, die clean.
Hell yeah, wasn't that a good one? It might have been 8 minutes long, but I tell you what, the man never spoke more truth than I've heard in my life. You know, everything we go through, everything out there on the streets, you know, he hit key points on a lot of different people and a lot of different ways other people see things, you know. I mean, there's women out there, they do some crazy things. There's even guys out there do crazy things, you know, you wouldn't believe it. But, I've been to prison, and, you know, the biggest gangster out there on the streets, when they go to prison, they're kind of, get a little sugar in their tank, you know what I'm saying? But it's for dope, usually. They're doing something for dope. It's just ungodly and it's crazy, what people would do for that fix. And it's weird, too, because you turn it all around, you know, and it's like, man, you do all that for yourself to make yourself feel that way, but, you know, how selfish is that, you know? To what lengths would you go to stay clean for your kids? What lengths would you go to stay sober and to make your kids happy, or to buy your kids things they need for school, or just something? I'm sure we can find something out there that we can strive for and love more than the euphoric feeling of getting high. You know, I don't know. people's different, and I can only speak for myself. But when I'm around my kids, I just feel like I got everything together. Like, I just feel so happy. I just get butterflies in my belly, my chest, and it's the most euphoric feeling that I've ever had in my life is just to be in my kids' presence and see them laughing and carrying on. I'm gonna try to keep doing this more often than what I have been. Like I said, I've been a little set back with Facebook. I let Facebook kind of take my energy for a minute, or whatever happened with. I think someone tried to get into my account, and then they're wanting a two-factor authentication thing. Well, my Facebook that I got, the phone number that I got on, I don't have anymore. So. And now I can't get on it to change the phone number, so I'm just without a paddle, So I end up doing another one, and now it seems like every time I post like 2 or 3 things on my group, when the sun goes down, like it'll lock me out for like an hour until they make sure it's not spam. I'm having to do the facial thing to make sure I'm a real person and stuff like that. So, like I was saying at the beginning of the podcast here, I need to set up a couple admins. So if you want to be an admin for my podcast, just inbox me, let me know, and I'll try to go through the steps to allow you to be an admin. So, I hope you've had a great night. I've had a great week. I've had a lot of good things happen for me, like I said earlier. And I just pray that everything keeps going good for me. And I pray that some of you out there that are struggling with addiction see the light and see if there's something worth living for. And that you just reach out to me if you just need help. And like I said, if you need help, I can and I will message somebody and have them to come directly and pick you up no matter where you're at. As long as you're in DeSoto County, or hell, I think they went as far as Columbus and stuff before to pick people up. So, I know they got a guy from Dayton here a while back. So, if you need treatment, you're out there and you hear this message, you hear this call me. Hit me up on Messenger, I think my phone number is on my about information. You just want to call my cell. I have my phone on me all the time. So I can't tell someone to call me and then by good faith not. You know what I mean? So I love you all. You have a good night and God bless you all.